Well, folks, here we again for the weekly forecast. Last week when we gave the forecast, we talked about a upper air low that would be moving into the northwestern United States, translating its way through the central Rockies, and then cutting off as it got into the central plains. Models have been fairly consistent with that forecast, and with that forecast, they were depicting some heavy precipitation that would likely break out across at least the western half of the high plains regions of Nebraska, all the way southward through the Texas Panhandle. It looks like that's going to come to fruition. If we look at the quantitative precipitation forecast, anywhere from 3 upwards of 6 inches of rainfall, depending on location, expected from the Texas Panhandle northward through the Nebraska Panhandle. Now, certainly everybody won't get these exact amounts, but it does indicate that we are going to see a period of very heavy precipitation develop as we go through this weekend, primarily impacting western Nebraska, with lesser amounts to eastern Nebraska. During this last week, of course, in eastern Nebraska, we've been dealing with the higher winds, but more importantly, we've been dealing with some air quality issues as the Flint Hill burning has been progressing, and as the nights progressed, of course, we see the decoupling of the winds and that smoke accumulating on the surface, only until we got some wind picking up during the daytime to scour that out. That issue looks like it's going to go to rest here as we move into early next week and the precipitation starts moving into our region. And more importantly, with this heavy precipitation, I'm expecting that we'll start to see some delays in planting that kicked off this week, because we're looking at 4 or 5 days of extended precipitation with cloudy conditions. We get a couple-day break, and then yet another system depicted in the models to come moving into the central plains. Potentially it will cut off also, so this could be a very wet end to the month. Let's take a look at the upper air models and see what we have in store. Here's that upper air low. It's not expected to move much today, so in the atmosphere, winds are moving from the south to the north, at the surface from the southeast to the northwest. That's bringing that deep moisture up into central Colorado. Expecting 1 to 2 foot of snow today, potentially a couple more feet in the Rock Mountains as we go through this weekend. So we're looking at 2 to 4 feet potential, with even more depending on how fast this low moves. And then some of that snow will spread out into the plains region potentially as we go into tomorrow, and some of that snow may mix in with the rain in the Panhandle. Right now we're not expecting any accumulations, but a couple of degrees difference in temperatures, and we could see some very wet snow accumulating. As we go to tomorrow, we'll start to see that low moving out a little bit, so the snow rain line will move a little bit farther into the eastern Panhandle, and the precipitation will likely break out across the western half of the state with more scattered precipitation in eastern Nebraska. I think we're going to be fine for today in regards to the spring game. More cloudiness issues, but nothing in the way of significant moisture. Now, as we go into Monday, the system starts to move out, and we start to see an increase in moisture across eastern Nebraska, and starting to see a die off of the moisture in western Nebraska. As we go into Tuesday, that system starts to fall apart, so we're going to see scattered shower activity. And as we go into Wednesday, now the system starts completely falling apart. We get the chance for some scattered cloudiness and sunshine breaking out during the afternoon. And as we get into Thursday, right now the depiction is this low will move off. We'll start to see clearing conditions, warmer temperatures, and that will continue into Friday before yet another system comes on board. So overall, 3 to 6 inches possible western Nebraska during this period, 1 inch in eastern Nebraska. And as we look at the 8 to 14 day forecast, we're looking at above normal temperatures everywhere, and in terms of precipitation, here comes the next system.